Today, Governor Josh Shapiro is responding to former President Donald Trump's post on Truth Social after last night's speech.
Yeah, News 8's Jerry Gish is here, but first, here's a clip of what the governor had to say.
It sure as hell isn't freedom to say you can go vote, but he gets to pick the winner. That's not freedom.
Last night, Governor Shapiro spoke at the Democratic National Convention. He's one of the delegates from Pennsylvania. Shapiro spoke about why he believes former President Trump is going to try to take Americans' freedoms away.
While he cloaks himself in the blanket of freedom, what he's offering isn't freedom at all. Because hear me on this, it's not freedom to tell our children what books they're allowed to read. No, it's not. And it's not freedom to tell women what they can do with their bodies.
And Trump reacted to Shapiro's speech last night on Truth Social. He said, quote, "The highly overrated Jewish governor of the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro, made a really bad and poorly delivered speech talking about freedom and fighting for Comrade Kamala Harris for president. Yet she hates Israel and will do nothing but make its journey through the complexities of survival as difficult as possible." He went on to say, "I have done more for Israel than any president and frankly have done more for Israel than any person, and it's not even close." Today, Governor Shapiro responded to Trump's post about him in an interview.
I think you all heard me talk last night at the DNC, the exact polar opposite of what Donald Trump is talking about. I'm talking about real freedom, bringing people together, accepting folks no matter what they look like, where they come from, who they love, who they pray to, and saying this is a place for you. That's diametrically opposed to everything Donald Trump believes. And it's clear that he is going to continue to be the hateful, divisive person that he's always been in this campaign.
The White House put out a statement in response to Trump's post as well, saying, quote, "It is anti-Semitic, dangerous, and hurtful to attack a fellow American by calling out their Jewish faith in a derogatory way or perpetuating the centuries-old smear of dual loyalty." President Biden and Vice President Harris believe we must come together as Americans to condemn and combat anti-Semitism and hate and bigotry of all kinds.